Canasur. It's a dispensary here in Pueblo, and we have a guard that works here daily. Right now he's doing his perimeter checks.
So what is he looking for? Just any suspicious
Suspicious activity. Another thing that he's doing here, he's also checking the gates to make sure that no one has tampered with anything. A lot of times you'll get cut fences and they'll be left there for the next night and make the job easier. And it's pretty visible. I mean, you can see that from the road. There's no denying that there's a grow back there, so everybody knows it. So this is a top location for that to happen.
Caleb Patton co-founded a company that helps guard and protect the places that grow, sell, and transport weed. He's a former Marine who did 4 deployments in the Middle East. Now, instead of carrying out convoy missions abroad, he works in Colorado, where recreational weed sales are legal.
In this 9,000 square foot room, how much product do you have here right now?
On a retail dollar amount, you're probably looking close to $1 million.
$1 million. So you have like about $1 million worth of product here, a couple $1,000 worth of product on the shelves, cash flowing. There's a reason why you need 24-hour security here.
Yeah.
After the military, Caleb formed his security company, IPG, with Hunter Garth, a Marine he mentored in Afghanistan. Caleb was involved in a training accident where 8 men in his unit were killed. Caleb was also injured and now uses marijuana to help treat his PTSD.
We're standing in the middle of what you protect, what your job is, but also this is a plant that you have a personal connection to outside of it just being part of your job.
I personally use marijuana medicinally for my PTSD. And of course I didn't use while I was in the military, something I was very against. And I agree with that in the military. But now that I'm out and I'm in the civilian world, there's no reason not to be.
This is part of the freedom you get coming home, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Some of the freedoms I fought for.
So if you were in the front seat of the car right now and we were, like in Iraq or Afghanistan, what would be the parallels to like what we're doing right now?
Before we go out in the military, you always prepare for the route, you have your mission. And we do the same thing here. We go over the task at hand at the beginning of the morning. Who do we need to pick up? Where do we need to go? And try to follow the plan as closely as possible.
Even though weed sales are legal in Colorado, they aren't on a federal level, which means the money can't be stored in a bank.
Where are we?
Yeah, this is our vault at General Cannabis. This is where we put cash.
So you actively use this vault?
We actively use this vault.
Which one's your number?
Which one's mine?
Yeah. I'll find it. When you were deciding that you were going to start IPG, where was Caleb?
He was always supposed to be right next to me. But Caleb was in Wounded Warriors when we started IPG, experiencing the worst sides of PTSD. It was always kind of our goal to try to keep him engaged and remind him that there was something here waiting for him.
Do you suffer from PTSD?
Yeah.
Do you use cannabis to help with that?
When I get home, my memories or my thoughts or things that I don't necessarily want to remember will come back. And in that scenario, it's nice to utilize marijuana to kind of slow that down.
What do you say to people who are like, I don't feel comfortable with the fact that a bunch of guys who used to be in the military or have been diagnosed with PTSD are running around with guns?
Nobody wants to hurt anybody, and the way to cure this is purpose, and we only have one skill set. What do you want us to do? We should absolutely be able to express our skill set in a work environment that is beneficial for us without getting attacked for the PTSD card.
Almost everyone in IPG's staff has a military background, and every Friday they come out to the firing range to work on their gun skills.
You want to choke up on that? Choke up on the trigger guard?
That gives you a lot more control over the gun.
You got it.
Dead center.
Yeah. Slow, steady squeeze. Beautiful. Perfect. Awesome.
Whew.
Killing it.
That's fun. There's active guns going off behind us. You talked about your PTSD a little bit. The pervasive thing would be, oh man, are you okay? You jump every time you hear a noise, but that's not what your PTSD is.
No, that's definitely not what my PTSD is. And I have been, in firefights, and not everybody's PTSD is the same. What might trigger me might not trigger somebody else.
Were you drinking a lot when you were serving?
Yeah, I think just about everybody drinks a lot. It's how you deal with coping. Comparatively to cannabis,
There's so many more problems that stem from alcohol and alcoholism than it does from smoking weed. You know, I come home from my job, kiss my girlfriend hello, hug my dog, give him kisses, dopey. If I have my firearm on me, I put it away, lock it up, and take my uniform off, and I usually smoke a joint. I'm an advocate of someone that is trying to rehabilitate themselves completely and not just taking a drug. It has to happen on multiple different avenues. Find a purpose and find accomplishment in something, something that you're interested in. You have to do those things or smoking weed is not gonna do anything but get you high.